Yeah, Declan Curry. Business news, is it Party Central?
Here?
Yeah,
no.
Stamp duty, Party Central? No.
Never. No exuberance of any rational or irrational nature here at the Stock Exchange. Listen, stamp duty. The Treasury is saying this within the last hour or so, saying that it expects that half of all home transactions this year will be exempt from stamp duty. Well, it doesn't quite tell you the full story because, of course, homes that were worth £125,000 or less didn't pay stamp duty anyway. So when you are trying to work out who benefits from this, what you're really looking at is how many homes are there between the value of £125,000 and £175,000 that are being sold this year. Now, last year, we've been onto the Land Registry, and last year, the Land Registry says that there were 320,000 homes sold that were worth between £125,000 and £175,000 in England and Wales last year, 320,000. Council of Mortgage Lenders this morning says that because of the fall in the number of house sales overall this year, the number in that little gap that's likely to be sold is just 50,000. So the mortgage lenders this morning saying that just 50,000 people will benefit from that change in stamp duty announced today. Now, of course, today is going to be a busy day anyway because the government's also announcing its plans to help homeowners who fall behind with their mortgage payments and also give some extra help to first-time buyers. Now, this is an area we haven't really focused on in much detail this morning. First-time buyers will get help by being given a loan that could be anything up to 30% of the value of the property they want to buy if they qualify for it. It's a co-ownership thing. It means that you get this loan and you would only own 70% of the home and then someone else would own the other 30%. The loan would have to be repaid within 5 years or so. Andrew Teacher's with me. He's from the British Property Federation. Andrew, good morning to you. Have I got this right, by the way? It is a part ownership thing, isn't it?
It sounds quite correct to me. I mean, the only point I'd throw in really is quite tells you quite a lot, doesn't it? Really, that they've not bothered to bring Caroline Flint, the housing minister, back from holiday for all these announcements.
That's a matter for Caroline Flint, I suppose. But on the actual substance of this. It will help some first-time buyers.
It will help some
who are struggling to get a deposit. If you've got someone coming along and saying, here, have 30% of the value of the home, you'll snap at it.
Yes, I think they would, but actually, let's look at what's got us into this mess in the first place. And it was people like Northern Rock dishing out 125% mortgages that basically meant that by the time you got out of the bank, you were in negative equity. So, I mean, obviously there's a reason why banks aren't lending mortgages to certain types of people. And whilst this will obviously help certain types of people, is it right that the taxpayer should be propping up ownership for people that probably, you know, one could say should not be owning a property? And that's not a vote winner.
Because some of this money, some of this 30% loan will come from the taxpayer. It's my money, your money, everyone else's money.
By definition, you know, it's part ownership. But I think, you know, obviously anything to do with all this housing policy is a big cost to the Treasury. They can't just get rid of stamp duty because it's a massive earner.
Hang on, you're in the property industry. You guys are always saying to us that property is a long-term investment. Well, if you look at this as a long-term investment, sure, house prices are falling this year, but we don't know what they're going to do next year.
Of course, since the Second World War, residential real estate is the best performing asset class in this country. But I think one of the things that the BPF has been saying over the last 6 months is actually for next to nothing cost to the Exchequer, we could incentivise the kind of branded rental sector that they have in Germany and Holland and actually bring in affordable quality accommodation that would be at no risk to the resident. They wouldn't have to fork out a big mortgage. They wouldn't have to actually sign themselves up for payments they can't afford, and it would actually spur on the development. And that's the thing we need to do. We need to actually get the industry moving. We need to get people building. We need to get rid of stealth taxes like empty rates that, you know, the government's own regeneration advisors are sort of killing off regeneration schemes. We need to kind of end a lot of the kind of PR that's going on around this, because a lot of this actually isn't going to help a lot of people.
Okay. From that I derive more help for renting, less help for people who are buying. Andrew, thank you very much. Andrew Teacher from the British Property Federation. So much detail on this story, much more to come after 11.
Thank you, Declan, very much indeed.
Now, just gone 11:15, here are headlines. The government